So let's be honest, you probably want to be sitting and watching a video about mould and condensation about as much as I want to be talking about it. But mould can be a real issue in student houses, and if you're watching this video, it's probably because you've already got an issue. So let's get into it. The fact is, we live in a cold and rather damp country. Our environment is damp, so our homes will not remain dry unless we manage them carefully to make them that way. In our experience, 99% of mould and condensation issues are down to tenant behaviour, not the property itself. Keeping houses dry, therefore, is a skill that we need to teach you. So please take on board the advice in this video. It's a skill you'll need all your life. It will make your home much more pleasant to live in, and it will save you a lot of money. So first we need to get a little bit sciencey to understand what's going on. So welcome back to GCSE Physics. Now each one of us produces around 2.5 litres of water every day through breathing, sweating, showering, cooking and drying clothes. And in a student house with lots of people, that is a lot of water. And we need to get it out of the house as quickly as possible. Cold air cannot hold very much moisture. Even a small amount of water vapour will start to form condensation very quickly. It will seek out the coldest surface, and once it finds it, it will turn back into water, forming droplets on that surface. If that's a wall, it will soak in, making the masonry and the plaster damp, and a perfect breeding ground for mould. Warm or hot air, however, can hold much more moisture vapour, and it won't condensate as quickly. This means that as long as we allow the air to escape at some point, it will take most of the water vapour with it. So in order to manage the condensation and stop it from happening, we need to keep two things in balance at all time. Firstly, the temperature, and secondly, ventilation. So first of all, heating. Get your heating set up right. You should be heating your house at least 19 degrees for a minimum of 2 hours in the morning and at least 3 hours in the evening. By heating the house for long periods, you warm up the walls, which stops the peaks and troughs in temperature. It also saves you money on your heating bills. We're always happy to come over and advise you about your heating. We are here to help you get this right. If you're all-inclusive, then make the most of it and ensure that you put the heating on whenever you need it. When it comes to ventilation, I'm sure you don't need me to show you how to open a window. And don't forget, opening your windows will also make your house cold if you have them open all the time in the winter, which can cause more condensation. And we don't want to do that. So what else can we do? Most modern windows can be locked ajar. This is just as secure as when they're locked closed and is a great option during the day when you're out. If it's really cold outside, you might not want to open the windows for long, but many windows still have these little strips, which are called trickle vents. These should be left open all year round, except for the very coldest of nights, and allow a constant small stream of fresh air in and moist air out. Closing these throughout the winter will quickly lead to mould around your window frames. Always make sure your extractor fan is on and working when you're showering. If it comes on automatically with the light, turn the light on even if you don't need it. Open the window and leave both the extractor fan running and the window open with the door closed for a good 10 minutes after you've finished, or until the mirror is clear of any steam. When cooking, make sure you use the extractor fan. Lids on pans of boiling water will also help reduce the amount of steam. So now we know how to manage the inevitable water vapour in our home, but there are a few other things we can do to fight against mould and reduce the amount of water vapour in our houses altogether. Dry clothes outside wherever you can. The rule of thumb is if the path or the street outside is dry, then it's dry enough to dry your clothes. Never dry towels or clothes directly on radiators. Use a clothes horse next to a radiator instead. This allows the radiator to continue doing its job in heating the room. It might sound strange, but some walls in your house are likely to get colder than others. Those that are outside walls, or even those that face the north and aren't ever warmed by the sun, are likely to be colder walls and are more vulnerable to mould and condensation issues. If you do have large pieces of furniture against those walls, you may need to pull them away by a few inches to allow some airflow, particularly during the winter months. As with external walls, make sure you don't put any big pieces of furniture up against your radiator, as that will stop the room from warming up properly and almost certainly lead to issues. If you do get any mould issues, like this corner just here, use a specific mould cleaner to clean it off. Don't use bleach or warm water, it's not strong enough. We would recommend this HG mould spray, which is about £5 from eBay or from Amazon. Spray it on, wipe it off, and then spray it again for the next few days until all signs of the mould have gone. After using the spray to clean off the black mould on the surface, spray it every day for a week until you've killed the organism that's actually living in your wall. Then you know it's not going to come back. And finally, if you do find that you're getting lots of issues with condensation, particularly around your windows, passive dehumidifiers like this one, the Aero 360 from Unibond, comes with these tablets and helps it absorb extra condensation and works really well to just keep on top of things in the worst areas. I hope that's been helpful. If you have any other questions about mould or condensation or need some help setting up your heating, do give the office a call.